You know that clingy ex that you swear you're done with, but you just keep going back to them because they get you. They know what you want before you want it, they're fast, they're convenient, and then they show up at your doorstep bearing gifts. And that clingy ex is Jeff Bezos. De-Amazoning your life means cutting ties or at least setting some boundaries with Jeff Bezos. Just like any breakup, there was a you before them, and there's definitely going to be a you after them. It's going to be a little different, a little weird, and a lot uncomfortable. But wait, why break up with Jeff Bezos in the first place? Well, that man has his priorities out of whack, like building rockets shaped like that, and sending Katy Perry up to space over things that are more practical, like, I don't know, solving world hunger. But actually speaking, Amazon had me and a lot of other Americans in a chokehold, which made me really think about what does it look like being a consumer in the modern era. For me, I realized that my habits focused more on convenience over conscious shopping. And what that meant was anytime I wanted to buy something or just had like a shopping itch, Amazon was my default. Like, Amazon had all of my silly little treats, it had my skincare, it had tech accessories, my hobby stuff, and just random little things. And with Prime, the ordering process was so brain dead. Like, all I had to do was buy now. I didn't have to think about shipping, I didn't have to think about returns, and things just teleported to me in like 1 to 2 days. The barrier to buy things was so low that I ended up developing a shopping addiction to Amazon, where at my lowest, I was making orders like maybe twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week, on random little things that probably gave me more dopamine when I clicked order now than when it actually showed up at my door. That convenience made me so lazy that I literally had a subscription for peanut butter. Not like some fancy, artisanal, hard to get peanut butter, but like just a regular jar of peanut butter that you can find at literally any store. And that was my rock bottom. At that point, my eyes were open and I knew that I really had to take a good look at how I was spending my money. So one day I sat myself down and I really reflected on my shopping habits as a consumer. And I realized I had zero mindfulness when it came to shopping. Like, the only thing that I really cared about was the price point and nothing else. Like, I didn't care where the thing came from, I didn't care how it was made, I just cared if I got the best deal. And once I found the best deal, I didn't care where my dollars were going. From a self-interest standpoint, finding the best price is, of course, the best thing that's gonna be for me. But if I were to take a step back, I don't actually think it serves my self-interest as much as I thought it did. Amazon makes up a big chunk of all shopping that is done, at least in the US, which is eating bookstores, mom and pop shops, and malls around the US. And they can sell things for dirt cheap because they operate on scale. And when I say scale, I mean multi-billion-dollar empire scale. They have the power to undercut small businesses by offering lower prices and 2-day shipping just to see their competition fold. The other day I saw that Amazon recently moved their big annual bookstore to coincidentally land on the same week as Independent Bookstore Day. Now, I'm not saying this was an intentional move to mess with the sales of smaller businesses, but I will say that it does look very, very suspicious. What lets Amazon sell for so cheap compared to small businesses is that small businesses have to pay for rent, utilities, staff, and they have to put in a little more investment to make a presentable storefront. On the other hand, Amazon doesn't have to do that. Like, most of their products are in warehouses where there is automation, robots, and a lot less customer-facing expenses compared to physical stores. Because there are more expenses that physical stores have to account for, things have to be priced higher than what you might see on Amazon, because matching Amazon's prices would mean selling the products at a loss. Here's the kicker. Although things might cost more at a local business, more of that money gets circulated back into the local economy. According to the US Small Business Administration, for every $100 spent at a small business, $48 stays in your community. For Amazon, only $14 stays local. If no one is supporting these local businesses, they're gonna shut down. And you know what is really depressing and borderline dystopian? Walking through a commercial area where every other door has a for rent sign up. And if all these small businesses are forced to shut down, that makes big box retailers the only option for shoppers. And I don't know about you, but oligarchical practices are kind of cringe. I personally don't like supporting those practices, morally and ethically speaking, and as a consumer, your dollar is your vote, because that money could very much go to some flavor of lobbying or decision making going against the things that you love and care about, or to wealthy billionaires out here buying yachts for their yachts. Now you might be asking, how do I quit? Well, it's not as easy as it sounds. I'm gonna be honest, it kind of sucks not relying on Amazon anymore, but the thing that really helped me from shopping from Amazon was by adding friction to the shopping process. So that meant canceling Prime and uninstalling the Amazon shopping app from my phone. Prime is predominantly a convenience subscription, and it costs $139 a year. That's a lot of money to pay annually on something that is not really a necessity for most people. And let's be real, it encourages us to spend more of our hard-earned money. This is gonna sound a little crazy, but you don't need Prime to shop on Amazon. You're just gonna have to hit a shipping minimum and wait a couple extra days for your order to come. And I don't know about you, but my smooth, instant gratification infected brain thinks 5 to 7 business days is too long for shipping. So at that point, I'm hauling myself to the nearest store so I can buy what I need, but not before asking myself, hey, do I need this silly little thing right now? Most of the time, the answer is no. So you know what I do? I stay home. And boom, just like that, I saved money. Canceling Prime isn't the magical solution to de-Amazoning your life, but it is a good first step. I have a Kindle. I love my Kindle. My Kindle is like the only reason why I'm reading as an adult. But the thing that I don't love about my Kindle is how Amazon has penetrated every crack and crevice of my device, even though it's mine. And it's been really, really annoying because other e-readers are looking hotter than ever, and I'm catching myself turn my head as if it was a new bombshell that entered the villa. But you shouldn't have to buy a brand new e-reader to read your favorite books just to avoid Amazon. Fortunately, there is a workaround. At least at the time of recording this video, there is an alternative to getting books onto your Kindle outside of the Kindle bookstore. Amazon offers a service called Send a Kindle, where you can upload your books to it in one of the supported file formats, and it automatically converts them into a Kindle-compatible format before sending it off to your Kindle. There are many online stores and other sources of getting digital books online. Although this does add an extra step to the whole process, sometimes these books can be cheaper than what you find on Amazon. And another cool perk about it is that it doesn't lock you into the Amazon ecosystem in case your Kindle dies for good. You have the flexibility to just hop ship and download all of your books super easily to your new e-reader, whether you stick with the Kindle or decide to explore your options. And if you're a little more tech savvy, you can also jailbreak your Kindle. I'm a firm believer of if you buy an object, it's yours and you should be able to do anything you want to it. But if you can't be caught holding an Amazon branded Kindle, I hear you. You can also shop at local bookstores or just get a library card. Humans are remarkable creatures, and we haven't evolved much from our Ooga Booga days. The landscape might have changed a little bit, but our hunter-gatherer senses are still there. Like that ye old saying, you can take the girl out of the Stone Age, but you can't take the Stone Age out of the girl. Like, I spend a lot of time looking for my next prey, and my next prey is usually a pair of shoes that is 70% off its original price. I love finding a deal, and Amazon was my old reliable for finding deals. Like, I used to clear out my calendar for Prime Day just so I can get my hands on one of those DNA kits that I can spit and ship to a privately owned company so they can probably do some morally gray things with it. But hey, at least I know that I have the gene that makes cilantro taste like soap. It's not like I could have figured that out myself. Since I stopped shopping on Amazon, I've shifted my energy to thrifting and buying used online. It's literally looking for gold because most of the things that you find in thrift stores are actual trash. But man, oh man, the rare occasion that you find something that hits, it really hits. Okay, I'm gonna unhumbly brag here, but the other day I went to Goodwill and I locked eyes with a little pepper mill I saw in the kitchenware section. It was a cute pepper grinder, don't get me wrong, $4 and she was coming home with me. Lo and behold, it was an $80 pepper mill from the brand Peugeot. First of all, Score. Second of all, who in their right mind would spend $80 for a pepper mill? It just cracks pepper. So now I have a cute pepper mill just sitting in my kitchen. And the only thing that makes me happier than when I'm using it is knowing that I spent a fraction of what it's worth to buy it. I'm getting my soapbox out for this one, but things made nowadays don't survive the test of time. Like after 2 to 3 years, they're starting to fall apart. And this applies to clothing, tech, and like kitchen appliances. Nothing bought new nowadays compares to what Meemaw and Peepaw had during their prime. And you know where those things end up? At your local thrift store. Just to drop a little life hack, any kitchen appliance that was trendy at one point will end up at the thrift. The more single purpose and niche, the higher the likelihood. Like, I don't remember the last time I went to a thrift store where I didn't see one of those Dash waffle makers and those soda streams. Big picture, Amazon has a thick and juicy presence in the developed world, especially in the US. Most people have used it at least once, whether it be Amazon or one of the bajillion companies that Amazon owns. And let's be honest, Amazon is not going anywhere anytime soon. And I also have to acknowledge that some people have to use Amazon because it's the only affordable and accessible option that works for them. And that totally makes sense. But when I was in my Amazon for everything era, that was not the case for me. Like, I most definitely could have spent an extra couple bucks at the local store across the street, but I didn't. I chose the cheaper, easier, and more convenient option because it was there. Because running to the store felt like some unbearable task that I couldn't do. God forbid I leave my apartment and touch grass. And look, I get it. There's not always a perfect alternative. Like, sometimes you're looking for one super specific random thing that is only sold in this tiny little business in a suburb of Ohio or Amazon. And you're not about to book a plane ticket just to buy that little thing. No. I mean, I guess you could, like, free will is a thing, but like, let's be real, you're just gonna buy it from Amazon. The point of this video isn't, quitting Amazon cold turkey or shaming anyone for how they shop. It's about being more intentional where we can. Asking ourselves, do I really need this right now? Could I get it elsewhere? Would going out and buying it in person feel better? Sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no. Regardless, it's not about perfection. It's about awareness. Even small shifts like buying local when it's doable or waiting a day before hitting buy now can help us break out of the mindless scroll and spend loop. And with that, I'll end the video. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you consider giving this video a big thumbs up? Also, if you want to keep the conversation going, drop a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on our shopping habits as a collective society. I do read all of the comments and I try to reply to as many as I can. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Toodles! Hugo, Fuego, Puget?